What's up, everybody? Joe White here, and rolling back again through Wyoming on my way out to Oregon. And I want to talk a little bit about SmackDown last night. SmackDown is, sorry guys, just getting a message here. Um, SmackDown was an awesome show last night. I enjoyed every single match. I enjoyed every single finish of every match. That, I mean, come on now. Come on. This past week has probably been on a week where AEW has its lowest rating ever. WWE probably has had its best week of television ever since WrestleMania, at least. I will dare say that these past two, Raw and SmackDown, probably to me have been better since the ones after WrestleMania. Um, it's amazing, flat out amazing. I want to talk a little bit about the show last night. CM Punk coming out, cutting a promo, and Paul Heyman is trying desperately to leave the bloodline. So far as to say, Punk, just take me with you. I've delivered my message. Just take me with you, Punk. Please take me with you. And and Punk ended up getting laid out by Drew McIntyre later on, which we'll cover. But slowly, again, we're taking baby steps to make sure that this Paul Heyman thing. Some people think Heyman's not going to get spiked. I think Heyman gets spiked. I could see Heyman getting spiked the day after Money in the Bank, and then if Roman returns at SummerSlam, which I think he will, or the Thursday Friday after SummerSlam, then I think that you know maybe Heyman comes back with him. But I think Heyman's getting spiked. Um, the Punk promo was a typical Punk promo, and I love CM Punk, but saying that McIntyre took his ball and went home was absolutely amazing. Um, and then the bloodline surrounding him and Cody Rhodes. Um, Cody Rhodes ended up coming in and giving Punk a baseball bat, which laid backed off the bloodline. Absolutely awesome. Um, they were building the next one. Took me by surprise here because they have Bianca Belair in the back. The next match took me by surprise. But before that match, Bianca Belair's in Gorilla, the cursed Gorilla position, and Jade Cargill shows up and, oh, we need to work on getting our tag titles. Oh, but I got to go focus on getting Money in the Bank. So maybe there's a little bit of friction here building between these two of, hey, if you hadn't have focused on these tag team titles and going with Nick Aldis, you could have been out there and had my back, something to that effect. Or Bianca Belair says, hey, my head wasn't in the game because I was too focused on us. Um, and then you have Cody and Randy and KO in the back, and they're discussing, hey, you want to do this on your own, but it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. And that would hint about things to come. You then had Bianca Belair versus Michin versus Chelsea Green. I absolutely love this. I've always said it, and I said it with the Rumble, and I'm going to say it here. Money in the Bank, things like Royal Rumble. I said it with Queen of the Ring, um, which they're doing with Gunter. Uh, the Royal Rumble, going forward, I think the Royal Rumble should be treated like this. But Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, um, King and Queen of the Ring, stuff like that should be used to create new stars, not put over established ones. And Chelsea Green winning this match by hook or by crook, I did not see that coming. Absolutely a surprise and absolutely refreshing. She's going to be in that Money in the Bank match and she's going to take like sick bumps, I have a feeling. Let me see here, guys. We then had Bailey in the back, and she's Blair Davenport walks up to her and goes, "Hey, I'm going to cash it in on you if I win Money in the Bank." I think they could have given Bailey a little bit more to do here on this episode of SmackDown. Solo then tells Paul to make sure the Tongans take care of Randy and Owens before he leaves. Solo tells Paul if he wants him to do something, he better do it. And when Solo comes back, they need to have a talk, which we never really got to see we did later on, but Caleb Braxton's in the back with Waller, and which Caleb Braxton's leaving. That's sad. I like Caleb Braxton. Caleb mentions that Austin Theory is not there because of an injury. Waller says that he's going to win his qualifying match and dedicate his Money in the Bank match to Austin Theory. Ciampa and Gargano get into a shouting match with Grayson. Then all of a sudden they're in front of like a big steel elephant door, is what they used to call the elephant door. And the big door, bang, you hear a bang on there, and everybody takes off running because they think it's the Wyatts, which I'll get to in a separate video. But it's not the Wyatts, it's CM Punk being laid out by Drew McIntyre. He throws Punk over his shoulder, carries him into the entranceway, dumps him on his ass, takes his bracelet, and then Nick Aldis come out. And they get into a little shoving match, which Nick Aldis, man, I've heard that Nick Aldis did not get into WWE just to play a GM role. Are we going to see Aldis versus McIntyre? I doubt it, because McIntyre's on Raw, Punk's on Raw. The quitting thing didn't last long, did it? Maybe he used the quitting thing as an excuse to go to SmackDown. I don't know, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with that. We didn't see Punk getting checked on. They go to commercial. We come back. Punk is getting loaded into an ambulance, and he's out of there. Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Again, putting over younger, newer stars. I love this finish of Carmelo Hayes stealing one. And I love the fact that Carmelo's in Money in the Bank and not Randy Orton or Tama Tonga. Because Tama Tonga, I think we're going to see Cody versus Solo at either in Money in the Bank or SummerSlam, and the Bloodline needs to be with him. But I love this match. I love the finish. Glad to see Carmelo Hayes getting into Money in the Bank. Again, putting over new stars is what Money in the Bank should be there for. It's what it was designed for. I mean, Edge got his first WWE title win because of Money in the Bank. Look at what it did for people like Rob Van Dam. CM Punk won it twice. Look at what it's done for him. Look at what it did for Damian Priest. Although since his cash in, I will say his tag title or his world title reign has been meh up until this past Saturday. Up at Money in the Bank, or not Money in the Bank, Clash the Castle. Clash the Castle proved that he's more than just a transitional champion. He proved himself there. LA Knight's in the ring, and he blabbles on about wanting, Logan Paul, and Logan Paul's ducking and dodging him. And then all of a sudden, Santos Escobar comes out, and him and Knight get into it because Santos Escobar, Logan Paul, and LA Knight are in a Money in the Bank qualifying match when what LA Knight really wants is a U.S. title match. Like the fact that he referred to it as a belt at first. That was awesome. LA Knight comes in for the sneak attack, and let's see. Santos goes for a Phantom Driver, gets BFT'd. Logan Paul comes in, hits the one lucky punch on LA Knight, and what a way to continue this feud. It was awesome. Kevin Owens versus Andrade versus Grayson Waller. I absolutely love the fact that, again, I'm glad KO didn't win this because everybody thought, oh, KO is going to win this. Andrade needs to win here. Andrade needed to win. He needs to qualify for Money in the Bank. And it's an absolute spectacular move. Again, creating new stars, not putting over established ones. Very good booking here by Triple H. Michin's in the back, and Tiffany Stratton comes up and says somebody couldn't handle the pressure. Tiffany says that, or Michin goes, oh yeah, well you got Nia Jax running around protecting her. Tiffany goes to slap her, it gets blocked, and then all of a sudden Nia Jax comes in and barrages her and hits her up against the big old anvil case in the back, and Michin basically gets taken down by Nia Jax. We're in the back, and Solo's in Gorilla right before their match here. Actually, Caleb Braxton's in the back talking about Drew. Drew said, hey, we'll see. We'll have to wait till Monday to see what happens. Punk is in the hospital and will probably be there overnight. Notice they said hospital, not medical facility, pal. They said hospital. Good stuff. Very good stuff. We're in Gorilla, and Solo's getting ready for his match. And Paul Heyman finally has it out with him and goes, look, you're breaking commandments. This is not what Roman Reigns wanted. He said CM Punk wasn't to be touched. And now you're just going rogue. You're going rogue. And when he comes back, and then Solo stops him and goes, I love you. I hate to break this to you, but Roman Reigns isn't coming back. And Paul Heyman is absolutely gobsmacked at this. How can that be? How can that be? He says. Then we go to Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. This is more of an angle than a match, but what they did do was very good, I thought. And then after the match, Tama Tonga Tongaloa run in. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens try to make the save, but then Jacob Fatu, we heard he was coming. He's finally here. After spending a couple of months down at the Performance Center. I mean, this guy's been signed for about 3 months. I want to say before WrestleMania. But Fatu does an incredible splash off the top rope, putting Cody Rhodes through the announce table. If you go back and watch that bump, he bounced about a good 2 or 3 feet after he hit that splash. That was a sick ass splash by. Oh man, it was awesome. Can't put this over enough. Now they're even stronger than ever. They've got 4 members. I'm telling you guys, we are leading to Samoan Civil War games. There's a rumor that Hikuleo from New Japan might be coming in. That, does 5. I'm curious to see what they do because it's going to be Roman and the Usos. They're going to get back together, and that's only 3. And then they have to have 2 other people. Could Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes team up with the Bloodline, the OG Bloodline, to take him out in War Games? I mean, I'm curious to see how this plays out, but we are going to get some sort of Samoan Civil War games come Survivor Series, and it's going to be amazing. That's going to do it for me, guys. My headset is going dead. I will be back with a video on the whole Wyatt 6 stuff later on. They pretty much told you that they're exclusive to Raw now, but we'll see you down the road.